That was rough. That's been really hard. Get through everything I just got through. But I did it. I did it. Yeah, I'm much better now. Man, that was horrible. A whole week of 90 degrees inside my house. Messenger. Okay, we're going to go to Facebook. Oh, that's YouTube. This one needs to be Facebook. Where's Facebook? Google 3. What's going on here? No, I know where it is. Here. It's right here. I'm learning how to use this thing. I just got it. Why do they keep going?
I love grown women. I'm talking about, this is the group of people.
You say that black people and white people don't stress about the same thing.
No.
Oh, why is it doing that? Why is it buffering?
White brothers and sisters, I love my white brothers and sisters, but y'all stress about stuff we don't stress about, like bills. Like, if we ain't got it, then we don't got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna stress over something I ain't got.
Okay.
Like certain bills ain't even real to black people. Like a student loan, what's that? We was students when we got that money. I'm grown now.
Okay.
They be like, what about the interest? I be like, I'm not even interested in that. I ain't stuck no student loans, like a hospital bill. What's that?
Gorilla Glue?
That's your hitting.
And you sold that? Why do you need a shark? Your most valuable commodity isn't your money, it's your time. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time. And time gone by is gone forever.
This man sold billions of dollars and has over $250 million in the bank, but he went to Shark Tank just to give his daughter a chance to speak. She didn't want money, but instead to help people get it back in their pockets. Watch.
Well, big insurance companies discovered a lucrative business model in the 1970s that helped them rake in more cash from their customers. And that's when insurance was made mandatory in every state across America. These big companies are doing everything they can to make you pay more than what you're insured for. The reason why you're overpaying for car insurance is because the majority of what you pay every single month goes to commissions for the insurance agent. That is why you see record-breaking profits years from these big insurance companies. For the past 50 years, those companies have spent billions of dollars to convince us that's the only option, and that's just not true. Our website allows people to use the same tool that fleets use to cut out the middleman entirely. It cuts out the agent. That means zero commissions, just the actual insurance cost. That way you're only paying for insurance and you're not paying those hefty commissions every single month. Anyone in America is allowed to use it. You just won't hear it advertised. But it's public and free. It's helping families put $2,000 a year back in their pockets.
This is just like a car quiz. You answer the make, the year, the model. Toyota Tacoma came back $56.35.
What happened?
That's full coverage, comprehensive, and a low deductible.
What happened to the lady that was
If you're a high
talking in the
roller
Shark
like
Tank?
throwing money away,
Man, they went
disregard this
straight
video.
into
But
this
if you want to try
commercial.
taking a little car quiz too, I put the exact same link below.
Gorilla Glue?
That's your hitting.
And you sold that? Why do you need a shark?
Gorilla Glue. Vehicle make and model. Insurance. Coverage professor. Okay, let's see what they got. Are they going to just have a bunch of people contacting me? Yeah, probably. It's a 2006. I don't even think I can get it to run. It's a Chrysler. What? I'm confused. Vehicle model, and they only give you. Well, I don't drive any of those models. I don't. How am I supposed to say a Sebring? Because they ain't got it on here. Ford Escape, Explorer, Expedition, Econoline, Freestyle, or Mustang. What happened? I pressed the wrong thing?
Your most
No, they don't give you a chance. Vehicle model, this is all they do. Just these particular few cars. Maybe I just did something wrong. Let's try this again. Let's move back again. 2006 Ford. They ain't giving me no chance to put in no Chrysler. Okay, well, forget that shit. It's gone.
valuable commodity.
Out and
In
in.
and out
Out. Open up
and
that hip.
in. Out. Oh, I need to do this right now. I got another show to do. I know she's doing this.
Out
Out
and in.
and in. Ooh.
Out. Open
Out
up that hip.
and in. Mm-hmm. All right, we're done.
It's sitting that's causing
Lower back problems in
If
seconds.
it's our left side,
It's our left
we're
side.
going to put the knee like this.
Put your knee up like that.
Stand up straight.
Stand up
It's
straight.
the hip flexor.
It's the
right
hip flexor
here.
right
You need to
there.
stretch.
Oh, that's terrible what happened in. What is this? Miss Wizarding, what is this timeline? Is this a movie? Epic view of Dragon Alley. Oh,
Vaseline and baking soda will give you baby soft skin overnight. To achieve this, bookmark this recipe so you don't lose it. Add 1 tablespoon of
all right. What's on your mind? Live. That's what's on my mind. All right, what do we got here? Live on Facebook. Counting down. Now we're live on Facebook too, y'all. Okay. The thing about this right here, see on my finger, that's because right here on the middle coming down is where the video camera is. And so if I'm looking up over here. I don't know, I guess I'm looking at myself talking. I don't know why. But when I look here, I'm looking at y'all. And over here, when I'm looking up there, I'm looking at y'all. That's where the camera is, up there. So when I need to do this better. I'm learning how to do this. So I'm actually talking to y'all personally, and I'm not over here talking blah, blah, blah. I just have been going through a lot, and y'all know the trauma I've been going through. And it's been relentless since I was born until now. And now is the time for me to unveil myself as to who I am. I have been, see, here I go. I'm looking, what am I looking at? Oh, I know. I'm looking up there where the camera should be, but it's not. It's over here, down here on this side. Should be, could be, would be. What if only. Y'all, we have to stop living in that. No more. We're not living in, but what if I had done this, then he would or she would. If I just done this, my baby would have. Stop doing all that. Living in a what if. Because you're living in a what if means that you're living in yesterday and you're trying to create a scenario where it could have been better. But you're never going to do that because it was what it was. You can't change the facts of what it was, but you can change is how you deal with it today, how you deal with what happened yesterday. Mr. Sparrow, I see you over there. I can see some of you guys, but I don't have my glasses on right now, so I can't really see the words. Mom, Hagler, how are you? I can barely read that. I'm good, that's right. I'm everybody's mom. I could be your grandma, your sister, your daughter, your cousin, anybody I could be. I am here to help Every single person on the face of the earth. Every single one. The Creator has sent me to help everybody on the earth right now. Now is the time. Now is to spread this broadcast. Now is to tell other people to just listen to what I have to say. I'm not asking you to do anything yet. And what I'm asking you to do is going to be free and easy. Free and easy. All right, look, I got to go outside and do something real quick because now see, when I got you guys, when you're over here, then I'm like not even looking at them. If I take this camera and I put this camera over here, see, then when I'm right here, I can just shift my eyes like that instead of all the way over there and looking like I'm looking across the room, talking to somebody that's standing over there. All right, y'all. I finally get to tell my side of the story, just like in The Wizard of Oz. Wicked, the new one. The Wicked. Yeah, the new movie. That was a pretty incredible movie, actually. I loved it. I loved how people don't understand. They come in and they land a house on what someone was calling a wicked witch when we don't even know why that witch was wicked and who said so. Right? Who said so? All right, this is what I got to do, y'all. I'm going to sit you right here. We're getting a little sprinkles. This is my car. Let me turn this one around. This right here, this is my car. I don't know how to make that other one appear smaller in the screen. Doesn't matter. There goes Stanley Stamer. It's probably the FBI. Looked like she had some kind of camera in her hand. Y'all think I'm not paranoid? Yeah, they know me. The FBI know me. The CIA know me. Everybody knows me because I have been talking to everybody. I didn't skimp on who I talked to. That lady down the street was throwing away them toys. So I brought the toys out here. I got a code enforcement came and said I had to mow my grass. And there were a bunch of little white flowers out there that was feeding the pollinators. And so I cut it all down, but now it's all grown back up again. Then they're trying to tell me over there where you see that straw standing up like a fence. They were telling me I couldn't have vines on my house. I'm like, well, we'll just show you. We'll just not let you look through there. And then that right there has all bushed out. It looked like a great big tumbleweed for a while, but it's got beautiful, beautiful flowers, and it will flower. Once it comes into bloom, it doesn't stop flowering for the whole summer. And there's another 3 of them right there. Over there, I got gladiolas. And then I found this thing on the side of the road. Over there, I got gladiolas. Sorry. I found that cactus right there. And that big long shoot coming out of it has grown out of it since I saved it from the side of the road near death. All right. And then there's the hay. Y'all should have seen me getting the hay here in this car with the top down. I look like somebody from Jed Clampett going down the street with hay just going all out the back of the car. That up there, that front red car, that car is a donated car by someone to fix it forward. We fix poor people's cars for free. And this car was donated to the organization. And you see it says transporter on it. Okay? That don't mean it's registered yet. Transporter. That just means that you're transporting it somewhere and it has to be registered. And I got a disabled veterans tag. All right. And that's my house. hurricane windows. Not that I actually needed. Fucking made me jump. Not that I needed hurricane windows here, but you know, yeah, I think it was a bit of an overkill. I could have just done double thermal pane, but I thought that these were going to keep the heat out. Share the broadcast, it says. It wants me to share the broadcast. Okay, who do I share it to? Invite friends. Tina French. Donnie Wright. Bruce Farlander. Just look through this real quick. This would be like going through 2,000 people. There's no way I can do that. I can't do it. All right, so anyway, they told me that I had to cut the grass, so I cut the grass. It's been a month. I've cut it since then again. Now, I guess I have to cut it again, but I got a bunch of flowers that I'm going to plant out here for the pollinators. And then they said that I had to clean off my porch. That stuff, I cleaned it. I bleached it. I did everything. And besides, who are they to come up on my porch and tell me that I have to pressure wash? That's basically what they're telling me. They're telling me I got to pressure wash or I got to scrub this shit off of here in some way within, what was it, 7 days? And then, but I cleaned it as much as I'm going to clean it. I'll take that to court. And then this right here, the soffit, you see the white part at the top? Right there? It's got that little bit of stuff on the edges of it. They're saying I have to clean that. I have to get up there with a ladder, clean that, and paint as necessary. But everybody else down on the block, look at his soffit. I don't even know if you can see it. But his soffit's all full of rust. It needs to be painted. It's right there. She's standing right here looking at mine, but she can't look to the left at that one. All right, let's see. Let's turn that one around. I'm going to turn this one around. Okay, and now all this stuff, this one didn't get turned around. There, all this stuff that y'all see sitting right here, it had been raining, and the pieces of carpet that I had on, they were all wet and muddy from all the cats and everything, so I just put them down here where it was raining and let the rain wash the dirt off of it instead of spending all my time trying to clean it. So then she's going to come by and tell me I can't have these pieces of carpet. These pieces of carpet right here that I got. I've been drying over here. See these pieces of carpet? I got them like that. They can't be on the driveway, which she never would have seen had she not come up on my property in the first place. But while she was here, she decided to say something about what she called it. Dirt, grime, a mold. Because some algae has taken root there because the sun doesn't go up to the whole porch, stays shaded all day, but when it rains, it pours onto the concrete because there's no gutter. So I just bought this house 2 years ago, and it's not like I can do everything all at the same time, because I have absolutely been trying. Let's put you over here again, because I'm going back and forth. Because I have been trying. But every time I move somebody in here to help me do this, they've all robbed me, begged, borrowed money out of me, fucking doing drugs in the house. A drug dealer kicked in the door, broke the door jamb off. He did. He kicked that one kick, and it was gone, blown through. And I was like, what's going on, y'all? Oh, I don't know. I came running in here. The fucking door is open, off the door jamb. And he's out there in his car. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he said, I want my $150. And if I don't get it, I'll be back. And like 30 minutes later, he came back. And what do you do? Call the police and say a drug dealer just said he's coming back to your house in 30 minutes? What do you do? I didn't call no police. I'm trying to figure out who owes him $150, who's doing drugs, how long they've been doing drugs. Do they have drugs in my house right now? They all promised, swore on everything. God, dead mother, everything. They swore on every single thing. That they saw my vision and they were going to help me feed all the people all over the world. But that's not what they did. They came in, took advantage, ate my food, borrowed my money, begged for money, helping one with her business. Turned out she was smoking crack. She had been a manager at a recovery house for 2.5 years. I never thought she was going to start smoking crack. She had started smoking weed. I didn't have no problem with that. Do it outside. I don't care about weed at all. I don't. But when it comes to anything else, crack, alcohol, anything, heroin, any single thing, you're not going to have it in my house. You're just not going to do it. I don't let nobody drink in my house. Not right now. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to have a party and let people drink here, because I am not opposed to people having a few beers and sitting around and talking and relaxing at all. It don't bother me. I don't want to drink. I don't need to sit there and relax. It doesn't bother me because I don't want that to be a part of my life anymore, because that was a part of my life since I was 13 years old. Since when? Did my mom put a shot of motherfucking Jack Daniels in a baby bottle to shut me the fuck up? I wouldn't put it past her. She didn't hold us. She did not hold us. She did not hold us. I mean, yeah, she might have picked up candy, which she had to do. But when she didn't have to do it no more, she didn't pick us up. She didn't come and hug on us and love on us and tell us she loved us at all. She propped us up. That's the way they do it down there where I come from. You don't hold the baby and feed them. That's when you prop that baby up, give them a bottle, and do whatever you need to get done. They don't do it like that. But that don't mean that they're all like my mom. Just because they prop up a bottle. She hated us. She hated us. And she can sit here all day long and say to me, well, Nancy, I tell you I love you, but you won't accept it. That's how she says it to me. Not, Nancy, how could you ever think I don't love you? Girl, you know I've been loving you and holding you and hugging you and kissing you and putting my arms around you and taking you to the park and going swimming with you and going running with you and doing all kinds, doing arts and crafts with you. She didn't do none of that. None with any of us. All four of us. See, my dad was 16, 17 when he broke the plate glass window in the front of the department store in downtown Brownfield. And I'm not talking Brownsville down on the ocean. I'm talking or the Gulf. I'm talking Brownfield, about an hour from Lubbock, where they put the rodeos on every year. Where my pappy started the rodeos. My grandfather started rodeos with some of his friends. They got together. My pappy was in charge of the corral, the rodeo pen. My pappy took care of their horses. He did everything. He was also the only person in the city, in a little town, that graded the roads. He was the worker. He was. And my grandma, she was the manager of the one department store that my dad broke the window in the front because they were displaying guns. That's what you do back then. In a single pane window, you display guns. I said everybody was carrying them in the back of their pickup. Everybody was carrying shotguns and rifles in the back of their pickup. And half of them had spotlights on their trucks. Yeah. I know I was going somewhere with that. Down there, how they do it. I always do that shit. It's all right. We all do that, don't we? Be telling something, all of a sudden you forget. Oh, yeah, he broke the window. And he stole the guns in a one-road town. He stole the gun. I don't know how many people actually lived there, but I'm pretty sure if the roads are dirt and they're sand, I mean, we're talking West Texas, they gravel, and he's the only one out there grading the roads after it rains. They relied on him to make sure they could get around. They did. And he put on the rodeos. I don't know how they did it. They all built that corral. How they did that shit, I don't know. But Travis Minyard was part of a club that put this on. They formed a club. They did. So my dad bragged to some of his friends. Now, how did I find out this story? I was in a psychiatric hospital for going in Chris Cripps's daylight basement and stopping him from creating the Antichrist. But that's another story. But I'm in a psychiatric hospital, and they're not asking me any questions at all about why I think he was a devil worshiper getting ready to bring the spirit through the ancient mirror into the undead body. They didn't ask me one question about why I believed that. For 2 months, all they wanted me to do was learn how to be able to memorize counting backwards by sevens. And what else? What else was it? I don't know, but my anxiety was so high, he started giving me Ativan. And then I talked him into letting me out a month early. I was supposed to be there for 3 months, 90 days. I talked him into letting me out at 2 months because I was going out of my freaking mind with fucking nothing to do. Thinking I just went into this guy's house, took all that stuff out in his yard and burned it, and what's going on? What did I actually just see? But I know what I saw. I've been on this journey since I was born to do this. All that being said, Ativan, then they put me back into the jail, and without the Ativan, and then they started playing this movie called Losing Isaiah, and I don't know if y'all have ever heard about that movie, but it's about some woman that takes a 2-year-old away from the adopted mother because of ethnicity. Instead of the judge having all 3 of them live together, and this woman teach this woman how to be a good mom and not fucking devastate the child. Why couldn't they have done it all 3 together? But that's not the way it worked. And that baby was screaming in that movie, and I was in jail. Coming off of Ativan, and if y'all know anything about it, I was on Ativan every day for a month. The whole first month, I couldn't overcome my anxiety, and I kept trying to tell him I can't function. He finally gave me the Ativan, which, that calmed. Then he wrote a prescription for it because that was the only thing that would help me remain calm. And then, because they got my son, too. They took my son. There's a whole big thing that happened here all pretty much within a very short span of days. They took my son. I ended up going through all these mental hospital and then another mental hospital. And y'all are not going to believe the shit I saw inside of there. I have made it out to tell you the stories of what I saw inside those psychiatric hospitals. Y'all are not going to believe what I saw. You're going to think, no way, yes way. I'll tell you about that in a minute, but my brain snapped listening to that baby scream. I had my hands in my ears. I'm in jail. They've got my son. I've done all this stuff. I don't know what's going on at this moment, and I'm freaking out, and I felt like my brain was going around and around in circles. Oh, to include the fact that I thought I had committed the unforgivable sin and I was going to hell, and there was nothing I could do to beg my way out of it. Nothing. Because I called John the devil when I went into the house and I grabbed Isaiah up because I hadn't been with him for 40 days. And I tried to kidnap him. I found a defense for kidnapping, but it never would have worked out that way anyway. No, it never would have worked out. But I gave it a good try. And I did get to see my son at 40 days and what they were doing to him. So I'm sitting in there and I'm thinking about all that. I'm thinking about they took my son. I'm thinking about everything that had happened. And now I'm going to hell because I called John the devil when I realized that I'm on this journey to save the world. And now I've committed the unforgivable sin because it's giving credit to the devil for something that the Holy Spirit is doing. Is that the unforgivable sin? Calling John the devil when it was actually the Holy Spirit preventing me from taking Isaiah. That's the unforgivable sin. John, you're just the devil. And I had to come to some kind of a understanding with myself because that one was a hard pill to swallow. I couldn't get up off the floor. When that hit me, I dropped to the floor in the jail, in the common area. And I just lost my mind. And I was rolling around on the ground. I couldn't stand up, and I just kept saying, I'm going to hell, I'm going to hell. And I wrote on one of them kites that you send out to the medical, and I said, I'm going to hell, and there's nothing you can do about it. They tried to talk to me. There's nothing you can do. There's no begging, pleading. There's nothing. There's no way I can explain to you that's going to justify that I just gave credit to the devil for something that the Holy Spirit was doing in order to save the world. In my mind, I was sitting in that jail. I was laying there, all that going through my head, and a baby on the TV screaming. And all of a sudden, I felt like my head was swirling around and around inside my brain. And then I heard this loud snap. I heard it audibly, and I felt it right there when it snapped. Ping, like a rubber band, like something just snapped right there. And then my eyes went out of focus. I could see, but I couldn't focus. Everything was a little blurry. And my mouth hung open. I was like this. I wasn't blinking. And when I needed to turn sideways to talk to somebody, I couldn't do that. I was doing this. I could not swing my arms when I walked. I know that was a stroke. That was a stroke. What else could it be? I couldn't see. I mean, I could see. I couldn't focus. Normally you can just keep your mouth closed. But I couldn't. I couldn't do it. For 4 months. For 4 months I went through that. After they let me out of that jail. I did not think I was going to be able to walk down to the homeless shelter when they let me out. I didn't think I was going to be able to get on a bus. I couldn't think. I couldn't, nothing. I was just a walking fucking zombie. All I could think of was the next thing to do. Get to the shelter. So I go into the shelter. Now I have to register. Everybody there saw me. And they all remember me. Day after day after day for months. months. That's another story for another day. I'm done talking about that right there. And all the people all along the way, they're supposed to be loving on me and caring about me. We're supposed to be there for me. I had no one. Except for whoever God happened to put in place at that moment. And when I say God, we're going to go right back to there's no argument. I'm not a religious person. I don't care to argue about a book that says that God's a liar. In the very first chapter, it says, and I should go get my computer and read this directly out of the scriptures. Matter of fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not just going to tell you what it says. And I'm not going to do that right now either, because I got to get this stuff up before it gets dark. And I have to decide where I'm going to put this stuff, how it's going to be. It's just going to be a quick, should be 10 minutes, should be 5 minutes. It should be real pretty quick. This right here, I'm going to put that right there. No, not yet, because we got to put this stuff up here. Let's take this stuff all down. And believe it or not, the outside cats, they did this. They used it so much, they broke it, but I think it got wet from being out here because of the water splattering up. But they use it. They do. Where else are these outside cats supposed to sharpen their claws? I guess they could up on the trees, but... Alright, all the toys need to be washed to be given away, so I'm just going to put them in the house. This little thing, I don't have any idea what it is. But I don't know. All I know is if I was a kid and I had nothing, this stuff would be fun for my imagination. Especially if there were other children there. Let's see, let's do this. Right there. Right now, we don't really know. Right there. Alright, because I don't know it's all going to come this far back over. Alright. Now, trying to decide how I'm going to do these rugs. This one was red, now it's brown. It looks pretty good brown. Actually. It was a real deep maroon color. It was real pretty. It's still real pretty though. Alright, put that there. I could put this one up in the front, put these in the back. They didn't get completely clean, but that's the way it went down. Let's see. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I could do it that way. I don't know why I even got them up here. I'm gonna paint this anyway. I should just. Just want to just bench up before she comes back over here and says, you can't have that bench on your driveway, even though the lady across the street has chairs and a table on her driveway. Because I know what this lady, she did seem really nice though. So she may not be that kind of a person. Let's pull this up here like that. This one up here, I didn't accidentally. I ran over it with a here and say I ran over it with the lawnmower. I thought I could, that it wouldn't snatch it up, but it did. It snatched it up real quick. I thought I was going to be able to go right over top of it. No. That didn't happen either. It did not go right over top of it. So let's see. It's not going to be exactly even, but that I don't care about either. I don't know if I want to take it all the way over here either. I'll put it right here. At this moment, I don't care. All I do is get it back up here. See, the only reason it was also, well, the reason that I was doing all that was because I wanted to clean it. I'd already swept it all off. When she came up, I was already in the process. It just ticked me off that I've only been here for 2 years, and all the people that I helped, like the manager from the recovery house, smoking crack in here and borrowing a couple $1,000s from me a little bit at a time, telling me that her and her mom was getting a business loan for $5,000. And so I thought I was helping her out with her business of cleaning condominiums. But what ended up happening was she just apparently was using the money I was giving her, and she wasn't using it for supplies. And she wasn't using it for all the things that she said she was going to be using it for. So then she had to leave. She had to move out because obviously she can't live here. Right? She can't live here. I'm not having a drug addict lying to me, using me, taking from me, and not contributing to ending world hunger. What's up, Duke? All right. His mom pulled a con on me. Oh, okay. There. All right, that looks a little better. Let's see what y'all think here in a second. I'm not quite done. I got to figure out what I'm going to do with them chairs. Those chairs, I'm going to have to end up taking them back in the house, I guess. Anyway, that's better, huh? I'll take them chairs in. That's better than it was. And I've got this table right here. Might as well put it up there too, shit. Can y'all see it? Yeah. I was in the process of doing that when she wanted to come up here and tell me to clean. And I want to say, if you're going to come up on my porch and tell me to clean my porch, then while you're here on this block, you have to do every single person on this block. And you have to do yourself and every single person on your block, and on the person that called in a complaint, them and every single person on their block, before you think that you're going to come tell me what to do. And I'm not talking to the lady that came out, because I called her. I ended up talking to her, and she was a very nice woman, and she listened to everything I had to say and what I'm doing here. And that I'm pretty sure there's the two people. I don't think Rick did it. I don't think Rick called in. Whew. It's hot. It's humid here. And I'm still a little under the weather from my recent experiences. So I start getting lightheaded. I didn't bring out any water right now. But anyway, when you file in Florida now, if you file a complaint against a neighbor on a code compliance, you can't do it anonymously. You have to give up all your information, and it's public records. I mean, I guess I don't know what they thought, whoever turned me in, because payback. Hey, two can play that game. If you do it to somebody on a code compliant complaint, then they can do something legally back to you because you started it. But we're not going to play that game. We're just not going to do it. What we're going to do is vote me the new president and treasurer of all nonprofits. And then we will pay off everybody's debt. Nobody will be owing anybody else anything. And we're going to pay off all the soldiers' debts too. So therefore, they will no longer follow a corrupt government that we have taken our consent back from. We have taken our consent back. Do you understand what that means? The only way you can be governed under the Declaration of Independence, according to the instructions, is through the consent of the governed. They're supposed to be governing us. What does a governess do for children? She certainly doesn't fucking tax them and make them work. She certainly doesn't kill them. Government or governess? The government's supposed to be a governess who teaches and guides and trains people into their full potential. But that's not what we have. We have a United Snakes government. We have a government that spans the whole world. We have many people in this United Snakes. And I'm not talking about the United States because we are definitely not united. Tell me a state that's united with another state. If that were true, if we were united, I go to mailman. If we were all united, then we would never have let this government seize power over the governance. It's going to take all of us to stand up together and say, we take back our consent. And we are not going to go through your legislative process to have a vote on whether you're going to give us back our consent or not. Because everyone vote me the new president and treasurer of all nonprofits. See, there can only be one president and there can only be one treasurer. I've come forward with the plan that the universe, the creator, whatever is out there that's been talking to me since for as long as I can remember, telling me what to do, leading me, guiding me, bringing me to this point at this exact moment in history so that we can broadcast all over the world before they turn this shit off. And if you think they're not about to turn off global communication, think again. Then no one will be able to find you. No one will ever know where you are. You can cry and plead and beg all you want to for somebody to come save you, but just go tell that to people who are in Palestine right now. Go tell that to them. Go tell them how nobody's coming to save them. Because that'll be a fucking lie, because I'm going. And I'm bringing everybody with me that I ever met that said yes. And then all their friends too. And I don't think y'all understand how many people I have talked to that have said yes. They're in high-ranking places. They're the mafia. They're the Rockefellers. Yes, I talked to a Rockefeller. Yes, I did. Chance meetings all over the place. I met Arnold Schwarzenegger. He'll remember. Met him in Sun Valley, Idaho. I met Bill Gates. He might even remember. I met him at a Boys and Girls Club benefit that he put on. I met some people y'all would not believe who I met. Black Panthers. I met the second Black Panther, John L. Scott. Bobby Hutt and John L. started the Black Panthers and approached one of the other three, which would be Eldridge Cleaver, Huey P. Newton, and Bobby Steele. One of those three was the third. But the very first was Bobby Hutton, 16, and John L., 17. Or the other way around, vice versa. But I'm pretty sure that Bobby Hutton was only 16 when he was shot dead in his underwear. And John L. told me what happened. We stayed in the bushes for 3 weeks together in Oakland. West Oakland, they know me. East Oakland, I don't know so much. Watson, Compton, they know me. Inglewood, they know me. They threw rocks at me in Inglewood. San Francisco, they know me. The Tenderloin, they know me. Downtown LA, they know me. The guy that's putting on the champion, the basketball tournaments between the Crips and the Bloods at the end of Skid Row, he knows me. Everybody knows me. And if they don't know me yet, they soon will. Very, very soon. Because we are done with this shit. We are all done with this shit. If you guys don't think that I'm going to handle the money right, why the fuck would I even bring it to your attention? Because if I don't do it right, then choose somebody else. It's a public corporation. We all own it. If somebody's doing bad, then somebody brings it to the attention of the rest. And then everybody revotes it again. No violence. This is wrong that this governess somehow declared weapons against us. We're not handling that very well. We're not handling being used, ergo a cardinal, a male too. We don't like all the experiments that have been done on us, the people. The chemicals, the drugs, they did it to us. Ronald Reagan, y'all, dropped crates full of cocaine out of the blocks of the inner city. Millions and millions of dollars. They just went in there and dropped it and let the people have at it. And then days, as soon as that box, that crate got open, every single neighborhood fucking changed overnight. No more happy-go-lucky people, not standing around having fun anymore, having a couple beers and, smoking a little weed and talking about their next adventures and who just had their baby and where the best nightclubs was and jazz and all that shit. Fucking Ronald Reagan wiped it out and then went in and arrested them all through the Say No to Drugs campaign. What the fuck? What kind of setup is that? That's like going in and putting chocolate or candy or something in front of a baby and a baby consuming it all. And then what are you going to do to the baby? Expecting the baby not to consume it all. The governess govern us has been doing a very, very bad job since the beginning, when it's been proven that even George Washington was a scoundrel. They all were, but at least we have a chance to do what the Declaration of Independence actually says to do. And we are going to create a new governance, a different way of living life, where all people are cared for, all people are loved and protected. No one is left out to suffer on their own ever again. We're going to do away with no fucking DEA. We don't need them to tell us anything. We already know it. The indigenous have been passing down health remedies forever. You want to get high? That's what you want? Well, when you see what we're doing now, everything we're doing, you will be wanting to participate too. But I have a way to help everybody out of whatever situation that they're in. If right now we will just help me take back all the money from the nonprofits, begin to redistribute that money, and tell the federal government, you're fired. We trumped you. It's over for this administration. All of it. All governors, any representative who has had nothing but harm for the people are gone. Anybody else want to stay? We have to put in a new government. So we're absolutely going to need that. We can't just run amok. But life is about to change for everybody for the better. And all you have to do is follow me, Sassy Grace. That's it, Sassy Grace. All right, y'all. It's been wonderful talking to everybody. I will talk with you guys again soon.